Discover neuroscience-backed strategies for cultivating happiness. You, Happier by Daniel G. Amen. The 7 Neuroscience Secrets of Feeling Good Based on Your Brain Type. Back in the 80s, the author, a psychiatrist, started to grow increasingly frustrated with traditional methods of diagnosing mental health. While doctors in other areas could directly examine the organs they treated, psychiatrists were forced to simply guess at the underlying biological mechanisms driving issues like depression, ADHD, and addiction. Wanting to get to the root of the problem, he started looking directly at the brain using cutting-edge technologies like quantitative EEG and SPECT imaging. What he discovered was revolutionary, that there is no single brain pattern associated with any mental health condition. Instead, diverse brain types shape how we think, feel, and find fulfillment. In this summary, you'll discover Dr. Amen's 7 secrets to feeling good based on your unique brain type. Whether you're battling mental health challenges or simply seeking to elevate your mood and well-being, this summary offers a clear roadmap to becoming a happier, more fulfilled version of yourself. Understand your brain type. Understand your brain type. Unlocking lasting happiness begins with understanding your brain's unique wiring. There are 5 primary brain types, each with distinct physical characteristics and associated psychological traits, as well as unique challenges when it comes to happiness. Are you generally organized, flexible, and emotionally stable? If so, you may have the balanced brain type. Balanced types have symmetrical activity across the brain and well-regulated levels of important brain chemicals. Balanced individuals may come across as a bit conventional, but their stable emotional equilibrium allows them to adapt well to life's curveballs, control their impulses, and remain positive. In contrast, spontaneous types march to the beat of their own drum. With lower activity in their brain's frontal lobes, they are creative and curious, but also impulsive. Their naturally low dopamine levels lead them to seek out hits of this pleasurable brain chemical by pursuing thrills, creativity, and novelty, sometimes through risky behaviors like gambling or romantic affairs. Their adventurous spirits are admirable, but accompanied by short attention spans, low motivation, boredom, and conflict-seeking tendencies. Then there are the persistent brain types, the hard-working perfectionists. Persistent types have a highly active anterior cingulate gyrus, which causes them to get stuck on negative thoughts and struggle with change. Relatedly, they are typically deficient in the mood-stabilizing, stress-regulating hormone serotonin. As a result, they are thoughtful and have strong moral compasses, but they're also stubborn, rigid, and argumentative. Next, sensitive brain types are deeply empathetic and emotionally intelligent thanks to increased activity in the limbic or emotional areas of the brain. This, however, also makes them prone to sadness or clinical depression, negative thinking, and sleep and appetite issues. Sensitive types tend to be deficient in several brain chemicals, including dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. Low levels of oxytocin can lead to depression and the feeling that your survival is threatened, while low endorphin levels can cause anxiety, stress, and mood swings. Finally, the cautious brain type is thoughtful, always prepared, and has high standards. But high activity in their brain's anxiety centers, like the basal ganglia and amygdala, makes them prone to anxiety, risk aversion, and fine motor problems. Additionally, they tend to have low levels of the chemical GABA, which calms the brain, paired with high levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. This imbalance causes cautious types to excel at meticulous preparation, but to also become paralyzed by worst-case scenarios and debilitating worry. In addition to the 5 primary types, it's possible to have a combination brain type that blends multiple profiles. For example, the spontaneous persistent individual may exhibit restlessness and risk-taking behavior, combined with a strong-willed, perfectionistic streak. These hybrid brains often struggle with lower dopamine and serotonin levels, leading to distractibility and obsessive thoughts. Crucially, each brain type is associated with a specific prescription for achieving happiness. So, up next, we'll show you how you can capitalize on your knowledge of your own specific brain type. Know what makes your brain happy. Know what makes your brain happy. Our brains, with their intricate neural networks and delicate chemical balances, profoundly shape our emotional experiences. By understanding the unique characteristics of our brain types, we can unlock personalized strategies to cultivate lasting joy and contentment. Balanced types tend to be naturally pretty happy, but they can ensure consistent happiness levels by maintaining equilibrium across different areas of their lives. To that end, they should nurture healthy relationships and engage in meaningful work that aligns with their values. Celebrating traditional holidays, being on time, and following rules are also good strategies for balanced types. For those with spontaneous brain types, it's important to boost dopamine levels through natural means. This includes exercising regularly and mindfulness practices like meditation. Additionally, getting massages, listening to calming music, and soaking up sunlight can all support dopamine production. Persistent types should work to intentionally support serotonin production. In addition to regular exercise, meditation, and massages, they could try using a bright light therapy lamp in the morning. Also, because persistent types tend to fixate on negatives, they should make a concerted effort to compare themselves to others in positive ways and to focus on the silver linings of each situation. Sensitive types tend to be deficient in dopamine and serotonin, as well as oxytocin and endorphins. This means they should use the happiness-boosting strategies for spontaneous and persistent types in addition to activities that boost oxytocin and endorphins. Oxytocin-boosting activities include engaging in social interactions, physically touching loved ones or animals, and giving gifts. Endorphin-boosting activities include eating spicy foods, laughing, perhaps by watching funny videos with friends, and acupuncture. For cautious brain types, the primary focus should be on increasing GABA levels while simultaneously reducing cortisol. Mindfulness practices like meditation and yoga, eliminating GABA-depleting substances like caffeine and alcohol, prioritizing adequate sleep, and exploring techniques like hypnotherapy can help promote this neurochemical balance. Finally, individuals with combination brain types can benefit from a holistic approach that harmonizes various strategies. Primarily, though, they should focus on the strategies from whichever brain type tends to be dominant for them. Understanding your brain type and its underlying neurobiology is the key to cultivating lasting happiness. By working with, rather than against, the unique wiring of your mind, you can unlock your full potential for joy, fulfillment, and resilience. Nourish your brain. Nourish your brain. Brain health is the foundation for happiness, great relationships, and peak performance. But many of us neglect this essential organ to the detriment of our well-being. The good news is that there are concrete steps you can take to optimize your brain function and boost your mood. No matter your brain type, proper nutrition is key. Ensuring you get adequate vitamins, minerals, omega-3s, and probiotics nourishes the brain and supports the production of crucial hormones. Certain supplements like saffron, magnesium, and St. John's wort have also been shown to enhance mood. The foods you eat play a big role in your brain health too. A diet rich in whole, unprocessed ingredients provides the building blocks your brain needs to thrive. Conversely, the typical American diet full of sugar, processed foods, and artificial additives can actively damage brain health, contributing to issues like depression and cognitive decline. However, there are also specific requirements related to each brain type. For the spontaneous brain type, a higher protein, lower carb diet like keto or paleo may work best to boost dopamine levels and improve focus. These folks should also eat foods rich in tyrosine, which the body needs in order to make dopamine. Tyrosine can be found in almonds, bananas, avocados, eggs, beans, fish, chicken, and dark chocolate. The persistent brain does better with a diet rich in complex carbs and lower in protein to support serotonin production. They should also increase their intake of tryptophan, which can help the brain produce serotonin. Some tryptophan-packed foods include seafood, turkey, carrots, blueberries, pumpkin seeds, sweet potatoes, and garbanzo beans. Balanced, sensitive, and cautious brain types tend to benefit from balanced diets that include moderate levels of complex carbs and protein. Sensitive types should also reach for spicy foods and dark chocolate, both of which help release endorphins. And cautious types should add foods that help promote GABA production, which include green, black, and oolong teas, lentils, berries, grass-fed beef, and fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi. By making brain health a priority, you're not just treating yourself to more feel-good moments. You're also guarding against serious issues like depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Train your mind. Train your mind. Learning to intentionally direct your mind is a critical secret to sustainable happiness. This doesn't mean it's as simple as just being positive. Instead, it's about gaining control over how you think about yourself and your circumstances. Positive thinking helps leave the door open to something good coming out of a challenging situation. One powerful technique for consciously prioritizing the glass half full perspective is the GLAD game, inspired by the classic film Pollyanna. It's pretty simple. Whenever you encounter a setback or frustration, challenge yourself to find something to be grateful for or appreciative of in the situation. This simple mental shift can gradually rewire your brain to focus on the positive rather than the negative. Another strategy you can use is called Give Your Mind a Name. It's exactly what it sounds like, giving your internal voice a name that you don't call yourself. This creates a healthy distance between you and your thoughts, allowing for a more objective perspective. The author named the voice sending him unhappy thoughts Hermie, after a mischievous pet raccoon he had as a child. When Hermie shows up voicing fears and frustrations, he's able to assess and then dismiss them if they're irrational or unhelpful. Finally, ensure that you focus on micro-moments of happiness throughout your day. Whether it's savoring the first sip of your morning coffee or basking in the sunset, these fleeting joyful experiences add up to substantial boosts in overall well-being, and end each day by reflecting on what went well. This powerful habit primes your brain to look for more positivity. Ultimately, the path to lasting happiness lies in our ability to consciously shape our mindset. With the techniques we've discussed here, anyone can cultivate a resilient optimism and start living a more joyful, fulfilling life. Work on your relationships. Work on your relationships. Research shows that healthy relationships are the single greatest predictor of a happy life. In fact, a 2016 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Psychiatry found that interpersonal therapy was effective in preventing or easing depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. But cultivating positive relationship habits requires intentionality. First, it's important to take responsibility for your own happiness. As relationship expert Dennis Prager explains, we can control our own moods and attitudes rather than blaming our partner for any unhappiness. Prager argues that when we accept the responsibility to be happy, we become more motivated to strengthen our relationships. To do that, we should respond constructively to issues, own our part in them, and take steps to address them in a healthy way before they escalate. Regularly ask yourself, what's the smallest thing I can do today to improve my relationship? And what can I do today to enhance my mood to have a more positive influence on the other person? Answering these questions alone can help you start taking more responsibility in your relationships. Another key strategy is noticing and appreciating the good things about our loved ones. Instead of criticizing, focus on the positive. When you have an unkind thought about your partner, pause and consider whether vocalizing it will help cultivate a caring, supportive, loving relationship. Most often, it won't. Then, make an effort to consciously notice and appreciate the little thoughtful gestures your loved ones do. Research shows that couples who give each other 5 times more positive comments than negative ones are significantly less likely to get divorced. So, recognize little behaviors that indicate your partner loves you, whether it's making dinner for the kids, filling up your gas tank, or wearing the shirt you got them for their birthday. Remember that it's about recognizing the micro moments of loving behavior, not expecting grand gestures. By taking responsibility in our relationships and shifting focus to the positives, we maximize one of life's greatest sources of contentment, healthy, nurturing bonds with loved ones. Live in alignment with your values and goals. Live in alignment with your values and goals. Have you heard the song Thank You Next by Ariana Grande? Aside from being catchy, the song also embodies one of the key secrets to happiness, that happiness doesn't come from dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. Instead, it comes from acknowledging what the past taught you and then moving forward in alignment with your deepest values and life purpose. How do you know what your values and purpose are? To find out, you might consider using a powerful self-reflection tool called the One-Page Miracle, or OPM. To create your OPM, start by clarifying your core values across 4 key areas of life: biological, psychological, social, and spiritual. Core values are the traits you deem essential in your life. Knowing what they are equips you to make difficult decisions that stay true to your priorities. A couple examples of core biological values are athleticism and vitality. Your psychological core values might include authenticity, individuality, or self-love. Social core values could be caring, empathy, or family. And finally, spiritual core values might be acceptance, gratitude, or humility. To help clarify your values, consider heroes or inspirational figures in your life. What qualities did you or do you admire in them? Understanding your purpose in life is another aspect of the OPM. Research links a clear sense of purpose with numerous benefits, including greater happiness, improved mental health, and increased longevity. To find your purpose, consider these questions. What do you love to do? Who do you do it for? Are there hurts from your past that you can turn into help for others? What do others want or need from you? How do others change as a result of what you do? And finally, when you die, how do you want to be remembered? The final major exercise in the OPM is laying out your specific goals across the 4 life domains. This gives you a concrete, accessible roadmap for living in alignment with your uncovered values and purpose. For example, in the biological domain, the author's goal is to be mentally sharp and physically strong for as long as possible. In the spiritual domain, his goals are to deepen his relationship with God, help protect the planet, and honor the memory of his grandfather. Overall, be thorough yet concise in filling out each section of the OPM. Once completed, the OPM will act as a powerful daily reference point, helping you ensure that your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with your most deeply held values, purpose, and aims.